It is my pleasure to introduce you to our commencement speaker, Mr. Jon Wick. In 2012, Jon and Cassie Wick started 5518 Designs, a branding, graphics, and print design company proudly based in Butte. Through client work and side projects, Jon developed a unique 5518 graphics that emerged out of love of traveling, adventure, and the inspiration gained from time spent exploring. Jon was diagnosed with rectal cancer at 33 years old. That experience reinforced his creative direction to both escape society's complexity and encourage others to find their passions and see value in life's simplest forms. In 2016, 5518 Designs expanded into a retail location at 27 North Main Street in the heart of Uptown Butte, offering their brand of outdoor and recreation-inspired apparel, custom merchandising packages, and creative business solutions. The business has taken off in a short time and is a popular destination for both locals and visitors. The summer of 2021 saw the expansion of 5518 to a location in Anaconda. In addition to running the business, Jon and Cassie Wick are very active in the community and have hosted and sponsored many causes and fundraisers for those in need. Jon has spent time as the executive director of Mariah's Challenge, a presenter at the Innovate Montana Symposium, and a board member of the St. James Foundation and Butte Parks and Trails Foundation. Mr. Wick was awarded the 2013 Silver Bow Moving Mountains Award and received the Alumni Recognition Award from Montana Tech in 2015. Jon was honored with the 2016 BLDC Young Professional of the Year Award and was the 2018 Montana Standard 20 Under 40 recipient. This past August, Jon and Cassie were awarded the Montana Entrepreneurs of the Year from the Montana Ambassador Program. Please welcome Mr. Jon Wick.
Wow, thank you. I can actually get rid of about half of these pieces of paper after that intro, so thank you very much. It's been a minute since I've stood on the stage of a graduation ceremony, and I just want to first tell you that you all look great out there from here, so good job. It's truly an honor to be here today. I'd first like to, I have a couple thank yous that I want to get out of the way. First of all, Chancellor Cook, thank you. Thank you for the invitation and the committee. Thank you for your faith in me that I'll be doing something worthwhile with my time up here. Would also like to recognize the tech community for their support and their guidance over the years, in particular, Joe, Amanda, Michael, and the Shannons at the foundation, as well as Matt, Nick, Sean, and the coaching staffs in the athletic department dealing with me and my camera all the time. And the professors and faculty from the former professional and technical communication department, of which I received my master's degree in 2012. Thanks also to my amazing wife, Cassie. I'll talk about her in a little bit. She's actually carving an ice sculpture outside of the store right as we speak, so I hope that's going well. And to the staff at 5518, who had to suffer through a lot of the early editions of what I was gonna say today. You've all played a role in my life and my work, whether you think so or not, and I just wanna say thank you for that. So faculty, families, undergraduates, alumni, people in the cheap seats way in the back, good morning. Graduates, you guys should all be really proud of yourselves. I know you've been through a lot, you've powered through a lot, things like late night cram sessions, exams, fish bowls at the Dub. I know you've overcome a lot of that stuff to get here today, and it's a privilege to be here with you. So a little backstory. Way back in 2009, I had just gotten back from a year teaching in South Korea and traveling, and I wasn't really as passionate to get back into the field of education as I had been. And I was just looking for some kind of a change. I learned about the technical communication department about a week before the fall semester began in 2010. I got Dr. Okrish on the phone. He was the department head at that time. and basically told him that I enjoyed writing and photography and being creative, and I thought that I was pretty decent at those things. Before we hung up, he said, "You know what, Jon, I think we can make this pony run." 3 days later, I was sitting in my first class at Montana Tech, and that pony's actually been running ever since then. It was a great decision because my experiences here at Tech and what I learned here really fine-tuned skills that I didn't even really know were useful. Tech gave me the foundation to use creativity for a purpose and the confidence to put that out into the world. The idea for my business started right alongside my master's project. 5518 Designs is a company that I started just doing those things that I enjoy doing. We were one of Butte's first design-focused companies, and we've since evolved into a lifestyle brand and a retail shop. I'm proud to say that we sell our brand of apparel across the state and country through our website. We wholesale to over 10 stores across the state. We have 2 physical store locations and a warehouse, and we employ 14 people, the majority of those Tech students or recent graduates. And none of that stuff happens without my time here at Tech. So coming to you all today, this is probably an exciting or even scary intersection of your life. It's my responsibility up here to shed some light on what might await you in the old real world and to maybe share a few insights from my journey. The first is a secret that I don't think that you're going to hear from too many people. We don't know what we're doing. It seems counterintuitive, but that's true, and that's okay. Every day I run into situations that I've never experienced before, and I'm the one who's responsible to make a decision or act. I like to tell people that I play the game of whack-a-mole a lot. It's that game, that carnival game, you have to smash the moles back into the table to score points. Well, that game of whack-a-mole is a significant portion of my day. Unexpected and strange problems will pop up without any prompting, and as you can imagine, they're difficult, and there's no real guidebook to help me out. So often I don't know what to do, and there might not even be right answers. The world is really gray, and you won't know how to do a lot of it. And it's uncomfortable to say, I don't know, and the world's going to tell you that that's a failure, but I disagree. I think it's admirable if you consider this. Be humble enough to see your weaknesses and do the work to fix it, whatever that fix might be. The trick is when you say, I don't know, you can't stop there. Some of the most valuable things that I've come to know in my professional life are my limitations. I want my business to be successful, and it's hard to see yourself as the barrier to that sometimes, but it's valuable. So just remember, you're allowed to say, I don't know, but make those words a starting point. The second thing I've discovered is how important it is to have purpose. When I started as a teacher, I wanted to help my students learn about the world around them, discover how they fit into it, and realize how they can contribute to it. I think I did those things, at least I hope I did. But what I didn't realize as a 23-year-old 5th grade teacher in Phillipsburg, Montana, was that those values weren't just those I had for my students, they were goals for myself. And here's what I mean. Putting those into practice in your day-to-day life, learning about the world, how you fit into it, how you can contribute. To me, it means to approach life with a sense of curiosity and wonder. When I was travel writing, I tried to explain this armchair theory in a lot of the articles I published. Traveling isn't necessarily a specific far-off destination or a photo of you ziplining off the Great Wall of China, although those are both really solid Instagrammable moments. At its core, traveling is a mindset of curiosity and wonder, and this should be applied to anyone, anywhere. By curiosity, I mean seeking and being open to new experiences and ideas. Having a sense of wonder is what helps us understand our place in a larger world. It's perspective. This approach can really only have value when you act on it. Don't keep it in your back pocket because it's just not going to do any good there. And you'll see this around town. Visitors and tourists walk around our uptown area and they're looking up. It's something I've been trying to slow down and do more of. It's not something that we typically do though, because we're more preoccupied with like a recent test score or the toppings on your next pork chop sandwich. We don't take the time to notice things like the incredible architecture that we have here. We're too busy to imagine a time when Butte was bustling with people, when mansions were being built, and the attention of the whole country was looking at this town and the riches that came from here. Slowing down is difficult for me though, because I just like to get stuff done. But I found that slowing down helps me understand things that don't really make sense. It gives me time to connect dots between ideas and events and reasons and actions, and to discover patterns that get lost in every day. It's where my world becomes more clear and where I can organize my thoughts and simplify complexities. But keep in mind, even slowing down requires participation, just like curiosity and wonder do. They're all verbs and they're all actions. Carrying out these choices and actions can be a grind. And the real world can be a grind in a million different ways. It could be work or school, but it could also be things like a family emergency or your health. Recently, I was talking with my brother Jeff about this speech, and he said, "Dude, when I saw your Entrepreneur Award video, I realized how cool your why is. Just talk about that for a while. You'll be fine." I thought that was solid advice from somebody who I trust, so here's a story about what he meant. Last year, Cassie and I were named Montana's Entrepreneurs of the Year because of the business and community work that we are doing through 5518. It's a huge honor, and it still seems surreal to say that. Part of the award ceremony was a video that they would produce and play. The videographer asked me about what 5518 designs would look like in 5 or 10 years. Now, being the solid business owner that I am, I didn't have an answer. I still don't have an answer, actually. I have no idea what it'll look like in that time, specifically. I don't have one picture in my head that we're building towards. I have hundreds. So I started to bumble through an answer like I usually do. And what happened in my mind was that I started seeing those old-timey black and white photos of Uptown Butte in like 1900 when this place was banging, when there were neon lights everywhere and streetcars and hundreds of thousands of people walking around uptown with top hats and suits on those same Park and Main streets that we've walked every day. Those pictures became my why. My answer wasn't specifically about 5518, it was about how 5518 can contribute to making those pictures a reality again. And how every small decision and action that we do every day at the store is a step in that direction. If you ask any old timer, and their eyes will glaze over as if this place existed in a dream. My hope is that in 100 years from now, people will look back at this time and share stories of the exciting time when Butte came back. This why of mine, this core value or mission, vision, or passion, whatever buzzword you want to put on that, it gets me out of bed every day to face challenges and to celebrate wins. I'm thankful that what I get to do every day inches the world in a direction of better. And I'm encouraged to continue this work because you all will be joining me soon. But it's a lot of work. It is, and we need the doers. And that's you. I enjoy creating and realizing goals for my business and community, but I'm not a puppy anymore. I'm getting older, and I'm starting to get tired. And there's more gray in this beard every day I wake up. I'm hopeful, though, because all of you will be entering into the sweet spot of your life. You've got one of the world's best educations under your belt. You will begin to make real money in your careers, and most importantly, you have the energy to do these great things. You've got the ability to think critically and the credibility to ask why. Why do we do things this way? Why are they the way they are? These are important questions that lead to innovation. Don't just settle for the status quo or even give up when you run into things like pointless bureaucracy, straight up falsehoods, or even plain indifference. Or my favorite, Jon, it's like that because it's always been done that way. We all need to realize that we can make an actual difference about the things that we're passionate about. It's the pursuit of happiness. It's that single word pursuit is what makes all the difference. Good on you, Thomas Jefferson. Each of us have the opportunities to make this world better. These chances aren't flashbang ideas that will come to you in the middle of the night and instantly change the world when you open your email the next morning. These small opportunities to nudge things will sneak themselves into things like conversations with coworkers, It could mean that you're pitching a scaled down project as a proof of concept rather than the massive, elegant project that you had hoped for. It may simply be kinder word choices than an email. And it might be that split second when you decide to swipe right rather than swipe left. Incrementally and over time, we all have the chance to create the world that we want. That brings me to my next point. We can't do it alone. Specifically, I'm talking about community. Find people in your life who actually have your back with no agenda. And this might be your family, your coach, roommates, neighbor, teammate, coworkers. Whatever that community looks like in your life, find them. And in return, be that person for those in your community. My wife, Cassie, is one of the most amazing people I know. I love the crap out of her, and I don't just say that because this is a very public event and she'll hear about it. But if you know her, this girl embodies the spirit of community. I can't tell you how many times that she's convinced me that we need to shovel the snow off of an entire city block. Just because that we can, and so it's easier for the next person to use it. She's washed the neighboring businesses' windows numerous times just because, without any expectation, she just does it. And at first, I've got to admit, this will be our little secret, that I thought it was a little bit much. But over time, seeing her do these small things again and again, I realized that's just what neighbors do. That's community. I've never understood the value of community more than when I was diagnosed with cancer when I was 33 years old. At that age, cancer shouldn't be on your radar. And yes, you heard that right. It's butt cancer. And it's the shits on a lot of different levels. But I'm happy to say that I'm currently healthy, and my doctors say I have no evidence of disease in my body. Thank you. I got swept up into a medical system, into a world that was crazy foreign to me. I got a port placed above my collarbone so my chemo drugs could be injected directly into my heart. I got 2 small tattoos on both my hips so the radiation machine could line me up precisely and blast my tumor away. I never felt so bad for so long in my life. Imagine the worst hangover that you've ever had. Your head is throbbing, every joint in your body aches, and you're constantly on the verge of throwing up. You also feel like you weigh 2,000 pounds because you just don't have the energy to physically move any part of yourself. For me, that feeling lasted over 2 straight months. So I'm curled up in a fetal position on my couch at the start of all of that. I think I was binging Deadwood on Amazon TV or something like that, and there was a knock on my door. It was a friend of ours dropping off dinner. And the next day, the same thing happened. And the day after that, and the day after that. I remember how difficult those treatments were and how scary it was needing a 12-hour surgery to remove half of your insides. And how frustrating it was to learn how to exist in a new body with a new disability. I didn't know how to do any of it, and I didn't know if I could. Those memories will never go away. But I also remember the good that happened, like those dinners. You see, cancer sucks. There's no way around that. But it taught me to keep things in perspective. That there are things in the grand scheme of it all that actually matter. And there are a lot of things that really don't. Mostly, it showed me that we can't do these things alone. One last little story before I go. A couple months back, I was speaking to a marketing class outside the NRB. I was sharing some of the things we're doing at 5518 that's helped us in the last 5 years. Someone asked me about my time living in South Korea and my biggest takeaway from that experience. The lesson I still think about is that we're all more similar than we are different. Though Koreans and I look really different, we sound very different, we eat really different things, I saw that we share the same emotions, passions, concerns, vulnerabilities, and frustrations. We all dream and we all hope. And my fourth grade students in Asia were just as squirrely as my students in my classroom in Phillipsburg, Montana. And I want to extend that realization to all of you. The connections and challenges and joys that you've experienced on this campus and in this town, they will always connect us wherever you end up. The world you're entering will be filled with challenges that don't even exist yet. You'll be asked to lead and you'll be asked to follow, and both of those are just as difficult sometimes. There will be times you don't know what you're doing, nor how to even begin to do it. And there will be times of joy and times of celebration. But one thing I know is that we're all here, you're all here, because you've already proven yourselves to be driven, intelligent, and hardworking Montana Tech ore diggers. You've been exposed to brilliant thinkers here with large ideas and innovative strategies. So now it's on you. It's your opportunity to take those lessons and knowledge and skills that you've learned here on this campus and put them into practice so that we can create this world that we want. We can be the doers. We can be the dreamers. We can be those people. I tell you what, we got this. And I can't wait to see what you all accomplish. Please let me know if I can ever help. Thank you so much for having me here today. This is a really big privilege for me. Congratulations, and from the bottom of my heart, roll digs.
Thank you, Mr. Wick.